Hello everyone. In this video, it looks like I'm roughing it a little bit. I'm at my campsite here, but now honestly, in this video I'm going to show you one of the coolest, biggest builds I've ever had, and this thing has taken me, well, 2 years of work on this, and it's not been a continuous thing, but I've been working on it for a long time, since November 2020. So 2 years and then some. These are little devices that I've moved in from other builds. I've built this one right here in my small house build. Same with the clothing and the hangers and such. These tools here I built in the city build, and I have four main large builds that generally don't move as far as moving from their plot. They do have some mobile stuff on here. This boat, for instance, does have some protection blocks in front of it. Stops just short of hitting the house there, and it will make it to the treasure. This monster truck was my first monster truck that I ever attempted to make. I spent a lot of time trying to get it right, and it sort of paid off. The suspension is really active. I just use springs. Now I could probably redo this one again, put a little extra effort into it, and tighten this stuff up a little bit so it's not so floppy when the springs are all loose. As it is right now, when I drop it and drive it, I keep the springs locked. I keep blocks on there to keep them from moving, so they're just on there for decoration. But the truck itself works pretty well. There's absolutely no protection in front of it because it's at the end of my build here, and there's no room for that. There's also no counterweight under it, so it really was one of my first monster trucks, first attempts with the large wheels. Here's my Wiley Coyote wall. This is my second Wiley Coyote wall I've made. I think my third one might have worked out better, but it kind of depends on the angle that you're looking at it from. So a lot of work goes into these things because you can see it starts out wide here and it thins down, and it has to come down to the right point. So the effort involved in that is there's probably like maybe 5 pieces in each one of these things to get the little sliver to get smaller and smaller. And here's my birdhouse, and this building here is kind of a garage with an apartment above it. So we'll just go through this. Here's my F1 race car, and the garage door does work. Let me see if I can get that thing unlocked here, and I'll show you how it works. I forget which pieces are anchored, so I'll just grab a few of them. And I believe, let's see, there's a switch inside, and there's a switch in the car too. I'll just sit inside here. So I think it's like, there we go, C opens it and V closes it. So you can see the mechanism right there, and this other one, just the one over here on the side, just kind of keeps everything on track. So that works pretty well. The race car works just fine. No protection blocks in front of it whatsoever because it's inside the garage. But it'll go down the river and go until it dies. It's made mostly of plastic, so it doesn't have a very long shelf life on the river. These tools, those are the same ones that you saw out front. I've just moved them in here with cake. This is a little air compressor that I made, and washer, dryer. This chair right here will have one of these. Where's it at? These clothes here. Maybe I'll just use the hangers, the empty hangers. Anyway, it's going to be placed right there. So I'll just throw a cake on myself there and sit in this chair and then anchor it to that wall, and it'll be good to go. This is the attic above this building here, and looks like somebody's got the toy blocks out of the box there and playing with them in the attic. And let's go ahead and walk on into this room. Main hallway, I did some little custom lighting stuff up there. This is a constructed picture. It's just got 0.1 overlaps there. It's it's pretty simple, just a few big blocks, and you got some mountains. So that worked out pretty good. This one here is a little bit more complicated, a lot of little pieces, some angles and stuff involved in that, but it looks cute sitting on the refrigerator. I'll probably take these square cookies out and put me some round ones in there. I do have some round cookies that I can put in here. Just haven't done it yet. That was a very early thing. Most of this build was built, I started it 2 years ago plus, and most of this build was done without the trowel tool. So a lot of the stuff that you see here that looks like something you could do in 10 minutes, it took me, 3 or 4 times that to do it without the trowel tool. So it makes a big difference having that extra tool in there. I love that thing. I use that all the time. So this is, the bedroom, and there's only one bedroom, one bed in this apartment, and laundry basket. Here's the bathroom. I've been adding a lot of accessories to my bathrooms and stuff recently. I found that this is the cloth block from the inventory. I found that coal block actually works pretty good as well for towels. It makes a very soft looking cloth. So for like bed sheets and stuff like that, you can use coal, and it imitates pretty well. Here's some trophies, just for decoration, just to have something put around. I like the lights in this room. Had to dim them down a lot, but actually the lights themselves aren't really doing very much, and this is a neon block sitting underneath it. So it's not too overwhelming. You can see the ceiling around them it's a little brighter, but it's not too bad. You got to be careful with placing those things. You can overwhelm your vision. This sign here is constructed. I built this one. It's my first real heavy layering kind of project I did. I've done a few more of these since then, and I'll show you another one inside the house here in just a little bit in the big house. But this one's cute. This one worked out pretty well. I've brought this into my city build from here, and I built it right here on this wall. And yeah, it turned out pretty good for that. I kind of like reminiscing about how hard that was for me at the time, and kind of thinking, geez, it'd probably be a lot easier to do now. I like the way the curtains worked out in this one. I just kind of stuck those things up there. It's got the curtain rod, and it connects to the wall, so it has the regular look to the curtain rod. None of this stuff is terribly complicated. It all just takes time. These are emoji signs, so you'll see a lot of pictures around my place here, and I've been doing this thing so you can combine a couple of emoji signs together, and then you put the background in Build-A-Boat, and then you make the signs invisible, and what you've got is something that actually looks like a fully developed picture there, with frame and everything, and it's kind of neat. Okay, I think I'm done showing this building. I think we saw it all. There's really just not that much more to see. It's a small place. Oh, except for the hot tub. The hot tub's pretty cool. So it's got inside of it here, it's got seats so you can sit down. And of course it's got the drain in the bottom there, and it's got the control panel over here. It's important to be able to control it. It's got a couple of hangers up here to hang your towel or whatever. And let's get out of here. So we'll go out the back door, and there's my fence. The fence just kind of caps off the build. It kind of makes a nice perimeter to the build. It's kind of worked out pretty good. This light here's got some motion sensors on it. Got all the supports and stuff underneath here. I'm not sure what turns that light on. Probably the switch that's up above there. Let's see here. Yeah, so there's a switch inside here, right beside the washing machine. You can see right through the window there. That's the one that turns that on. However, these are actually not switches. These are not switched, I mean. They go to a seat that's just buried in the wall. It doesn't do anything because I don't need them to do anything. They're like pistons or switches or buttons or something like that. I'm just using them for their round shape. This round shape is constructed of plastic blocks that's been made into a circle. So this is a dance party, DJ booth kind of thing. I did all of this before we had the trowel tool, so you're seeing individually placed blocks. Tell you what, that was a lot of work. that was a lot of work to build this thing for no more good than it does for me. Just for decoration, yeah. Sometimes I do the craziest things just for decoration, but it looks cool. The lasers are kind of neat. I made sure that when they hit something, they stop, like as if they hit something, interfered with something. So the ones that don't hit anything, they go on until the edge of the build there. I did extend these out and stop them at a certain point because I didn't want them, can't tangle them up with a tricycle. And by the way, that tricycle, that just sits up there for decoration too. It's sitting on a pole. The pole is right there. That attaches it to the top of the house, and there's a wheel sitting right here. And then there's a bar that is attached to that wheel that goes around. And I moved the tricycle in there and set all that up without having the trowel tool. And boy, that was a lot of work. Again, it's one of those things that now, looking back on it, if I'd had that trowel tool, that would not have been that hard to do. All right, moving right along. Got some patio furniture there and a swimming pool, of course, and I'm a little too short for it, so I can't breathe. Whew, whew, almost drowned. All right, Scooby. How's Scooby doing today? Scooby-Doo. Yep, there he is. He's a happy dog, getting himself a drink. Must be a hot day. He's got a couple of toys sitting out there, and of course his fence keeps him in, except for somebody leaves the gate open. And this little, this is like a basement entrance right here. It's like a cellar. And there's a portal that sits inside this thing. And Hero from Hero Plays Roblox, my friend, he had a basement build that he loads underneath the house here. And so you can go into that, and then go into his. But he kind of stopped working on it, so I inadvertently sort of buried it back here behind this fence, and I really don't use that anymore, but I just left it there because, well, too lazy to delete it, I guess. I don't know. And it took a little time, so maybe I'll use it in another build someday. Speaking of taking time, this is what you've just been looking at. There's my 1/10 scale miniature model of the build. I need to put the boat in, and I need to put the truck in. Those will probably take me, yeah, each one of those will probably be a few hours because there's a lot of pieces and angles to those things, especially the truck. But yeah, I tried to get most of the exterior details in here. I even did the pattern here is as actual true to the pattern down there. They match. And you look at that one, and then you look at this one, all the colors match, all the blocks are in the right place. It is 1/10 scale. I actually measured out every single one of these things, and they're exactly how they're supposed to be. It took 3 weeks to build this little miniature. And I did a miniature of my city and one of the castle. And I think the castle probably took longer than 3. No, the castle took less than 3 weeks because I had the trowel tool then. And this was not trowel tool. This was brutal. But fun, you know. It's all good. It's all imagination and stuff. The windmill there is kind of a neat addition. That was one of the last. Actually, the last thing I put in was the dock and the water out here in front. But this one was just second to that. We'll check that out here in just a little bit. So this thing's just kind of floating above here. I think there's like a rod right in here somewhere. There we go, connecting it to the side. So it's just it's just kind of like a show platform sort of thing, just for the miniature, just for fun. The spiral staircase was kind of just to see if I could do a spiral staircase. I wanted to have one in one of my other builds. I think I did it for the castle. Yeah, I was sort of practicing this for the castle because there's spiral staircases in there. So the swings work. 1 hinge per swing is all it takes, and if you put 2 of them on there, it doesn't work quite as well. So just use 1 hinge per swing. And remember, if you sit your swing next to a fence, you're going to have to turn collision off on those boards that you'll smack into and get stuck on. Oh, and if you make a swing, let me show you this. If you get one of these hand cannons, and if I can actually click it, come on. Oh, I've already got one on me. Ha! Sorry, wasted my time here. Alright, and if you shoot the house, or shoot in front, then you can make yourself swing really hard. And of course, you can also do other stuff with that, like suspend yourself in the air and then use this cannon thing to get yourself around. But of course, it's all backwards because you have to shoot the opposite of the way you want to go. So this is my little play area here, and it's got a few features. It has the climbing wall, which works thanks to a few strips of titanium I've put on here, so you can see It's got a few of them on there, just like a ladder. In fact, these things here I think are collision off. Yeah, they're collision off because they don't actually do anything. These little rocks don't do anything. It's actually climbing up the titanium. And this ladder, of course, works. And if you get up in here, sometimes this works better than other times. But let's see if it's one of those times. These are monkey bar sort of things. You can go across there and check that out. So I kind of slide across it. Yep, I stood up and moved. So I'll show you how that works. That's just squeezing of your avatar. So these blocks here, this one and this one, kind of just get you aligned as you enter, and then you get wedged between these two blocks here, and there's nothing underneath me. I'm not standing on anything, and he's not really hanging on to anything. He's just sliding along on those two blocks. So you can do that, and it depends on your avatar size as to how well that works. Some people, they come in and it works great, and some of them they can't do it at all. So it just depends how wide your avatar is and how tall you are, if you hit your head on the bars on the top, and whatever. A whole bunch of different factors, like everything else here. So garden hose feeding the little moat around the sand castle. And of course I can play in the sand here. Well, I can't actually. I did to build this, but anyway, it's a sand castle. Right. Another one of those kind of things is the volleyball net. That is completely pointless, and I don't have a volleyball, so I can't play volleyball. And I don't know what I would do if I had one. I'd have to have another player. Anyway, I just did that to see if I could do that hash pattern. That was kind of neat. And of course, gotta pay my respects. Here lies Mick's free time. Yes, this is my free time. This is my greenhouse, which has, of course, some green stuff in it. There's some little seedlings there that are probably going to grow into something that looks like that, or something else. I don't know, but there they are. So I don't forget and walk out of the backyard. Here is my little barbecue room thing. What's it called? Gazebo. Yeah, got some emoji signs on the grill. There's a few of them on there, and that looks kind of good, actually. Makes me hungry. And this little wind chime here, I meant to make it active so it would actually swing in the wind, or well, swing if you touched it. And then I was also thinking about putting a little music box sort of thing right next to it here, so that as you get close you can hear some sort of dinging or something, but kind of never got around to that. And actually I tried making it swing, and it doesn't work very well. For whatever reason, it was too close to the building. It just didn't satisfy me, so I took the hinge off, and I'm stuck with it just sitting there now. So there's the windmill. So this is how you get up here, and you can start to see some of the mechanics. And I will warn you, I'm not going to spend very much time up here because it makes me terribly dizzy for whatever reason. Okay, it's making me dizzy already. This is brutal. There's a motor there that turns the propellers outside, and that motor there turns the top of the thing, and I am so done. I am so done with that. Oh God, now I got a headache now. That's great. Okay, thanks for the headache there, you crazy thing. All right, I'm going to go through this maze and get around to the front of the house, and then we're going to go through the house. So I've done 3 mazes here. This is the beginner's maze. This here, the intermediate maze. Yeah, easily frustrated, don't enter. There's a whole bunch of signs in this one. This is a 2-layer maze. It's 2 stories inside here, and I put signs in here to irritate myself and anybody else who tries it. Every dead end you run into has a sign that kind of mocks you, or says something stupid or something funny. It was actually pretty darn fun to put the signs in. I really haven't done the maze very much since then, but it's still funny to go read some of those signs sometimes. It was pretty much like whatever came to mind first, that's what I put on the sign. So there's some pretty nonsensical, kind of silly things like that, just for fun. As if you have another choice, right? The signs are only here to distract you. Yes, that is their only purpose, and for my own enjoyment. Okay, there we go. So that one there is really easy. You just hang, if you're going that way, you hang left. If you're going from this side to that side, you just go right the whole time, and you get in. You get through it, I mean. So there's my little mailbox. It turned out pretty good. And these lamp posts, I like the way those turned out. I used the rusted metal for those, obviously. The lawnmower is right now it's unlocked and sitting here because I was messing around with it earlier. You can cake yourself to this thing, and let me turn off anchor block, turn on match rotation. I'm just going to stick a cake in there, and then you can make the cake invisible. You can do this with little vehicles and stuff like this. The wheels aren't actually moving, but you can just run. It's almost like it becomes part of your avatar. You've probably seen people doing this kind of stuff. You can put mechanics on it as well. In fact, this is the same way you just cake yourself on to move objects around. And you also can use that to do like a mech suit kind of thing. You cake yourself into a suit or glue it to you, and you can move its arms and legs and everything with your avatar's body. So this is the guest bathroom. As soon as you walk in the front door here, got a nice towel and some air freshener there, and soap dispenser, some clothing hung there. I should change the material on these clothes, but it seems like such a large effort. There's a round, arch window there, and that chandelier right there was I guess that was my second attempt at a chandelier. Show you the first one here just a little bit. Bad memories with that one. There's some more emoji sign pictures, and there's just an invisible emoji sign and a frame around it. And there's a bench of ice and a few tools and some bolts and rusted metal and wrench and hammer and chainsaw. This is a pretty, well, you can see exactly what that is. It really isn't anything more than it looks like right there. The only fancy stuff about this one at all is that these are front wheels, as well as these. They're all front wheels. I use the keyboard and mouse, so I key them backwards. I key the back wheels backwards. That's hard to say, and so that they turn left when the front ones are turning right. And that way you can do a really tight circle and tight turns, good control. The anti-tip bars sitting up here on top, that was my first attempt at making something that would keep my head from getting whacked off if I happened to fall in the river. There's some of those tools sitting there, some spare car parts over here. Turn that off. There's a hot water heater and a furnace. Need to do some more work on some of this stuff, add some plumbing or something. Here's a little memorial area. Pandemic. Stupid coronavirus is hard on people. I really don't like that virus. As if anybody does, right? Yeah, lost two relatives, my uncle and Papa, my father-in-law, and that's the date of his death, and I can't recall the date of my uncle's passing. But yeah, that's real, and that stinks, and my heart goes out to all of you who have lost people in the pandemic as a result of it, any way, shape, or form. The whole thing is it's just rough. So anyway, nicer things. Little birdie. Hi, little birdie. And here's my king-size bed. And yes, you can lay down in it. You just put a chair underneath it, and you put the chair at an angle, and it looks something like that. And then you can sit in the chair. You turn collision off on the sheets and stuff, and you can get into it real easy that way. And you can switch sides. There's the alarm clock, and I made a bunch of little Roblox block tissue boxes. So that's this toy block here. If you don't have the toy blocks, I'm sorry, you can't get them anymore. There was I think it was a Christmas thing or something a couple of years ago. I don't remember exactly when I got those, but ended up with a bunch of them anyway. Oh, here's an example of coal being used as towels for cloth. I actually like coal a lot more than the regular cloth for a lot of these kind of reasons. It looks soft and plush, and it looks actually a lot more like a towel than does the material does, the fabric block. So there's a bathtub and a separate shower, and of course I can get in here and see the shower head and everything. separate little toilet room. Of course, you can sit down on the toilets. And let's move right on. Here's the closet, and here's a bookshelf, and this is an office slash work area. A little bit of entertainment here with the electric piano thing. This is a soldering bench with soldering iron, power supply, waveform generator, extra light there, microscope, circuit board being worked on, a few spare parts, tweezers. Yeah, takes a little time to make all these things, but the little details are just kind of neat to see. Here's an office desk thing. I would say that's my office, but this is not what my office looks like. In fact, this is not what my house looks like at all. If I had this house, it'd be like, wow, I sure wouldn't be playing Roblox. I'd probably be working my butt off. It looks very expensive. But, you know, allows you to be creative in Roblox, so it's nice. Yeah, a little remote control right there, and a fireplace, and Roblox on the giant screen TV for whatever reason. Here's my kitchen and my blender and the toaster, and this microwave has buttons on it, whereas the one in the apartment across the way did not. Got a fried egg there in the emoji pan, and dishwasher here. Got some water left in the sink. Paper towels. There's a Scooby Snacks in case the doggy gets hungry. Need to give him a good treat once in a while. Water bottle thing and a refrigerator. And let's go upstairs. So there's 2 more levels here. This is one more. There's one more above this. There's some checkers, more emoji signs. This is a girl's room. I used emoji signs on these walls to decorate them. This is the same dresser sort of thing that was in the other building, the apartment. And I started decorating the bathrooms a little bit, making some little bathroom supplies, and have been spreading those out to certain areas in the house. The shower curtain turned out pretty well. This is foil that I used for the shower curtain, and of course a coal again for the washcloth. And yeah, it looks like the maid's been here. The place looks pretty tidy and clean. Good for her. And somebody did laundry. Obviously there's no dirty clothes in there. There probably would be. It looks like a boy's room. And there's fish tank. The fish are a little lame. I have some emoji signs that would make those fish look a lot better. But I don't know if you put them behind glass. I don't know if you can see the emoji through the glass. I'll have to play with that. I don't know if I've ever actually done that. This is John's room. I don't know who John is. I just made that up. Seemed like a good name. Needed to be 4 letters, fit on the wall. I didn't want to call it Mick because it's like, okay, clearly I'm not this age. So I didn't want to call it Mick. I wouldn't want to get my diaper changed in the middle of a video or something. So, all right. Oh, and the skylight. Check the skylight out so you can see up through it. There's the tricycle going around right there, and of course you can see right down through it like there. And solar panels for a little extra energy. Costs a lot to heat and cool a house this size. This is the laundry room. Kinda obviously, it seems like. That'd be nice to have in real life. I don't have one of those. Another foil shower curtain there. Probably should have used a different angle. That one looks a little silly now that I'm looking at it like this. Okay, toothbrush. It's like a, I don't know, guest bathroom or something maybe. Popcorn. If you like popcorn, you get some popcorn and you go to the movies. This is your own little private movie theater here. It's got some Bose surround sound speakers. Those would be nice too. Again, something I don't have, but Roblox lets me flex that imagination. So thank you, Roblox Build a Boat. Pool. If anybody would like to play, Mick's Pool Hall is available. You can't actually play anything here, and I don't know who did what with the balls, but they're not here. So darts. There's the little tape lines on the floor for playing with the darts there. Dartboard has a lot of pieces. I'm telling you, that thing is crazy. I don't know how many pieces there are, but more than there probably should be. It's a lot. But, you know, I didn't have any choice but to make it nice and round. I forget what rotation that is. It might be 5 degrees. It's pretty, has to be round. So this is obviously the arcade. You probably saw the sign that labeled on the stairs there. So there's different games here. I kind of like this pinball machine because it reminds me of another one of my builds, which is a vehicle that has horns, and it's called Beast. And I'll show you that one sometime, maybe on here. Or you can go to Hero Plays Roblox. That is HeroPlayz, Roblox. Don't forget the Z. That one has 83 videos of mine and my friend Hero. And it shows a lot of builds, although this one's not on there at all. So, yeah, you can go on there and check out a lot of my stuff, and some of Hero's stuff too. And this foosball table was built, of course, without the trowel tool, which would have been so much easier now that I know what trowel tool is. But it worked out well. It looks great. I was very happy with the way the numbers worked out. And when I unanchor it, nothing falls, which was really cool. Foosball table, skee ball, also just kind of fun, neat things to build. My city also has an arcade in it, and they include these same games and stuff. So, boy, I wish I had a setup like that computer or this computer. Had to do that. Seemed like a good way to. I can't very well have like a game room and arcade without having a computer gaming station, because that's my world. Although, like I said, mine doesn't look that good. Those look fancy. Okay, so it's time to do some mazes. I am going to play my little jingle and fast forward this maze. And I'm going to do the intermediate maze, and then I'm probably just going to jump right in to do the difficult maze. And it will be difficult because I haven't really practiced, like, ever. So, well, it seems like forever. It's probably been a good 6 months since I've been through either one of the mazes. So bear with me and enjoy the ride. Yay! I made it! Yay! This is what I was wondering about earlier, I guess. I think the answer is already here. If I put the fish inside the fish tank, you can see that I see the words on the sign here, but as soon as I go outside this glass box, I can't read the sign anymore. They're just gone. So, yeah, I can't put emoji fish inside there. I have to make my own fish. If you exit here, there's a tube that's just suspended in midair here, and it just takes you out, and instead of dropping you on top of the building, it drops you just behind, plops you down right there, and you're ready to dance because you just did an amazing maze. Alright, I am going to get out of here and let you guys get on with the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out some more of my stuff. I have lots and lots of builds to show. So I will be doing that, and I've got lots of new stuff I'm making on a daily basis. So I'll see ya. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.